This incident happened to the family of my friend's aunt. There were 3 members in the family, the son and his parents. The son currently lives in London, while his parents stay in India. The story revolves around the son and his fiancée. I'll change the boy's name to Surya for privacy reasons. Surya lived in a shared mess in London, and it was in that city where he met the love of his life, Shrija. Professionally, Shrija worked as a nurse in a government hospital. Being in a foreign city, they quickly bonded after discovering they were both Indians. Their friendship soon turned into a beautiful romantic relationship. When they informed both families about their relationship, everyone happily accepted it. At first, everything was going perfectly. For almost a year and a half, their relationship progressed normally. But suddenly, everything changed. Srija had been living in a shared flat, but after having problems with her roommate, she decided to move into a flat of her own. After searching for a long time, she finally found an affordable apartment. The only issue was that it was quite far from Surya's place, around 45 minutes to an hour by bike. Although Surya was initially unhappy about the distance, he eventually accepted it. However, because of this, they met less often. Every Sunday, Surya would bring vegetables and groceries for Srija for the entire week, and this became their excuse to spend some time together. During the first week in the new flat, everything was completely normal. But from the second week onward, strange incidents began to occur. One night, Srija was sleeping when she suddenly heard the unmistakable sound of a door opening. She immediately sat up in bed. Her heartbeat became rapid, and in a trembling voice she asked, "Who's there?" There was no answer. Only silence. Terrified, she rushed toward the kitchen. Attached to the kitchen was a small balcony. To her horror, she saw that the balcony door was wide open, as if some invisible entity had just pushed it open and entered. She clearly remembered locking that door herself before going to sleep. Then who opened it? A cold sweat ran down her spine. The dark kitchen suddenly felt unfamiliar, as though someone was standing beside her, watching her. Trying to convince herself that it was all in her imagination, she shut the balcony door again and went back to bed. But the strange, icy feeling from that night refused to leave her mind. The next morning, Srija went to the hospital for work. Before starting her duty, one of her colleagues suddenly asked, "Did you fall somewhere? What happened to your face?" Confused, Srija quickly opened her phone camera and looked at herself. Her breath froze. Near her eye was a large bluish bruise, like the mark of a violent impact. She was stunned. She clearly remembered not falling anywhere the previous night. She hadn't hit herself against anything either. Then how did the bruise appear? A strange coldness spread through her body. She avoided answering her colleague's question. That same evening, she returned home late from work. As soon as she unlocked the flat and entered, her heart nearly stopped. The bedroom door was open. The balcony door was also open. Even the bedroom light was on. Srija rushed into the room, only to find it looking like a battlefield. The bedsheet hung halfway off the bed, as if someone had violently pulled it down. A water bottle lay overturned on the floor with its cap open. Water spread across the room. Chairs were flipped upside down, as though kicked in anger. The curtains looked shredded, with long claw-like tears across them. Her chest tightened in fear. Looking around the room, she felt as though someone was still hiding in the dark corners, watching her. Terrified, she immediately called Surya and explained everything in one breath. She also informed the building guard, but after hearing everything, the guard told her that no unknown person had entered the building at all. The apartment complex wasn't very old, and only 3 or 4 families lived there. Most of the flats stayed locked during the day because the residents were outside. According to him, it was almost impossible for someone to enter unnoticed. Though Srija didn't want to believe him, she had no choice. That entire night, Surya stayed on a phone call with her. At some point while talking, Srija unknowingly fell asleep. Around 3 a.m., she suddenly woke up. At first she thought she was dreaming, but then she heard it. A deep, harsh male voice whispering inside the room. Still half asleep, she looked toward the bedroom door. Standing beside it was a pitch-black figure. It looked human, but somehow not human. Heavy breathing echoed from it. An icy wave spread through Srija's body. Her eyes widened in terror as the figure slowly turned its head toward her. She couldn't move. She couldn't scream. Her entire body felt paralyzed. The black figure slowly began walking toward her. Then, in a voice filled with rage and hatred, it screamed, "Get out of here! I won't let you stay here! Leave!" Shrija screamed in terror, and instantly, she woke up. Looking at the clock, she saw it was exactly 3 a.m. Was it real? Or just a nightmare? She couldn't understand. Shaking in fear, she searched for her phone. When she finally found it, she noticed it had switched off, but she had been on call with Surya. How did the phone suddenly turn off? After switching it back on, she saw 15 missed calls from Surya. She immediately called him back. Surya answered after the first ring and anxiously asked, "Are you okay? Why were you screaming?" Confused, Shrija listened as Surya explained that around 2:30 a.m. she had suddenly started screaming in fear over the phone. He couldn't understand exactly what she was saying. Then there had been a strange sound, and the call disconnected. After that, every time he tried calling her back, her phone was switched off. But one thing frightened him the most. The strange sound he heard wasn't from a woman. It was a male voice. Shrija told him everything that had happened. Surya became worried for her but tried to calm her down, saying it was probably just a nightmare. He promised to visit her the next day. The following morning, while getting ready in front of the mirror, Shrija suddenly saw a black figure pass behind her reflection. She immediately turned around. No one was there. At that exact moment, someone began banging loudly on the main door. Her heartbeat grew faster. She stood silently, listening. Suddenly, the knocking stopped. Thinking maybe she imagined it, she turned back toward the mirror. Bang! Another loud knock. Now genuinely frightened, she slowly approached the door. She wondered who could possibly come to her flat so early in the morning. Gathering courage, she slowly opened the door. No one was outside. She looked left and right. The hallway was empty. As she turned back toward the bedroom, thunk, thunk, thunk. The knocking came again. This time, Shrija screamed in fear. Immediately, the sound stopped. Terrified, she quickly got ready and left for the hospital. At the hospital, she told her senior everything. Her senior advised her to keep a picture of Panchmukhi Hanuman in the flat and worship daily. Though Shrija already prayed regularly, the strange incidents continued. On her way home that evening, she bought a Hanuman picture. Back home, she called Surya, but he informed her that an important task had come up and he wouldn't be able to visit that day. This led to a small argument between them, and that night neither of them called each other. Before sleeping, Shrija placed the Hanuman picture near the balcony door. Later that night, she spoke with Surya's mother, whom she lovingly called Mamoni. After moving to the new flat, Shrija hadn't spoken properly with her for a long time. She told Mamoni everything, the strange incidents, and even her argument with Surya. Mamoni replied that she hadn't spoken to Surya even once that day. At that exact moment, tok, 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 3 loud knocks echoed from the main door. Shrija froze. She told Mamoni over the phone, "Wait, let me see who it is." Silence filled the flat. Then again, tok, tok, tok. Her body turned cold. Holding her phone tightly, she slowly walked toward the main door and asked in a trembling voice, "Who is it?" No answer. Only the ticking of the clock echoed through the dark room. Suddenly, all the lights in the flat went out. The entire room plunged into darkness. With shaking hands, she turned on her phone flashlight, and then the balcony door slowly opened on its own. Shreya turned toward it. This time, it wasn't just a shadow. A dead man's body was floating toward her. Its feet hung slightly above the floor. The skin was pale white, completely lifeless. Its lips were tightly pressed together, while its eyes bulged unnaturally from their sockets. Black blood had dried around them. A rope was tied around its neck, leaving behind deep black marks. The corpse grinned with filthy black teeth and slowly floated toward her. Saliva dripped from its mouth, as though it had waited years for a fresh soul. Shrija screamed and cried helplessly. She kept stepping backward as the corpse moved closer. Suddenly, she collided with the Hanuman picture hanging on the wall. The frame fell and shattered onto the floor. Instantly, the floating corpse stopped moving. Still clutching the broken pieces of the picture in her trembling hands, Shrija looked up. The corpse let out a horrifying scream and roared, "No one can save you. This time, I will take you with me." Hearing that terrifying voice, Shrija fainted. When she woke up the next morning, it was 8 a.m. She found herself lying on the floor. Broken glass pieces were scattered everywhere. The balcony door was wide open, cold wind entering the room, reminding her of everything that had happened. Crying uncontrollably, she called Surya and begged him to take her away from that flat immediately. Surya promised he would arrive by evening and told her to pack everything before he came. At 4 p.m., Surya texted her saying he had left for her place. At exactly 5 p.m., the doorbell rang. Shrija ran toward the door and opened it. Standing outside was Surya. As soon as he entered, he asked strangely, "Did you bring any food?" "I haven't eaten all day." Something about his behavior felt odd to Shrija, but she ignored it and went to the kitchen. When she returned, Surya was gone. Thinking he might be in the bathroom, she waited, but after a long time, he still didn't come out. She walked toward the bathroom and shouted, "How much longer?" From inside came a raspy voice, "Won't you even let me rest in peace?" The moment she heard that voice, Shrija realized that was not Surya's voice. Her entire body froze. Suddenly, the bathroom door creaked open. Surya stepped out. But this was not the Surya she knew. His eyes burned with rage and hatred. In one violent motion, he rushed toward her, grabbed her throat, and slammed her against the wall. Srija gasped desperately for air. Tears streamed down her face as she realized this wasn't truly Surya. In terror, she began chanting every prayer and every holy name she knew. Slowly, she felt the grip around her neck weaken. Suddenly, Surya released her and sprinted toward the balcony. Crying and shaking, Srija grabbed her phone and called Surya's mother, Mamoni. "Surya will kill me. Please save me." Hearing her terrified cries, Surya's family panicked. Then came the shocking truth. When Surya's mother called Surya, he answered and calmly said, "Ma, I'm driving right now. I'll talk later." At that moment, everyone froze. If Surya was driving, then who was inside Srija's flat? Who had tried to strangle her? Just then, loud banging erupted from Srija's bedroom door again. This time, the voice outside shouted, "Open the door! Quickly open it!" The voice sounded familiar. It sounded exactly like Surya. Gathering courage, Srija slowly opened the door. The real Surya immediately hugged her tightly. Breathing heavily, she told him everything. Surya stared at her in shock and said, "Are you crazy? I just arrived. Mom called me while I was driving. I got delayed because my tire got punctured." Srija stood there speechless. Which Surya was real? The one standing before her now, or the one she had seen earlier? Later, they checked the CCTV footage. The footage clearly proved that Surya had arrived exactly at the time he claimed. Before that, nobody had entered the flat. That very day, Srija permanently left the apartment. 3 or 4 months later, one of Srija's seniors, who lived near that building, revealed the horrifying truth. The flat was said to be cursed. Many years ago, a young man had committed suicide there by hanging himself. He had deeply loved a girl, but her family refused to accept their relationship. Broken and helpless, he ended his life inside that very flat. People believed his spirit still wandered there, consumed by anger and loneliness. Her senior also explained that because Srija was in a loving relationship with Surya, constantly talking to him at night and meeting him often, the restless spirit perhaps grew jealous and furious. Maybe it never wanted their love to survive. Thankfully, today Srija lives in a new apartment, and no strange incidents have happened since. Their engagement has also been fixed, and that is where this terrifying story finally comes to an end. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks.